Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and it has been days now. I've not uploaded any video because I was busy with some things. The world is changing. You have to plan yourself as well. And if you don't believe the world is changing, I think you are far behind. A lot will change after this pandemic. A lot will change. The way we school, the way we live our normal life, the way we go to churches, the way a lot will change. And I'm making this video for a friend that called me and asked a beautiful question, a very reasonable and a very touching question. He said he has been looking at the numbers of the victims of this pandemic. Black people are dying the more in every country. Say black people are dying the more. And he said even in the US, I think about 75% are black that have been dead. I could not answer him immediately, but I was busy and I said I'll call him back. So I'm using this opportunity to answer your question, Michael. The inequality in the world, every nation you visit, black are always the minority. Even in our own land, we are the minority. Even in our own land, if you don't know it today. Even in Africa, we are the minority. It hurts, it pains that even after over 400 years of slavery, over 400 years of slavery, black people can still enjoy the fruit of their labor. Now, the US was built by black people, but they are still the minority. The black people built the US. But look at what's going on today. They are far behind in everything. In everything. I think it was on my second video, I talk about the true justice system in the world. Let me just make an example of this, something that took place during this pandemic. In the US, for example, when they started believing that the virus is real, you know what they did? They started releasing their own people from prison. Yeah, listen to me very carefully. Their own people from prison. Even when they were accused of high crimes and misdemeanors. Even when some escaped to stand trial for treason, a federal offense, they were sent home. Why? Because they belong to a separate justice system. That justice system they belong to treats them with love and care. But for those of you who are in there for marijuana offense, theft, assault, they kept you locked up. I'm not saying you should reduce the pedophiles. I'm not saying you should release anybody who is accused of child rape, child molestation. Those are crime. For me, those are crime against humanity. You can't commit such crime and think you will go get away with it. I'm not saying you should release such people. They are people of marijuana, Let them go. Must they die because you caught them with marijuana? Must they die? No. Who even give you that power to lock them up at first, while you yourself, you break the law every day of your life? Who gave you that power to lock someone up? I'm not a fan of prison. I'm against prison. And I started being against it the first time I visited someone there and see the treatment going on there and the way people live there. Someone was arrested for DUI, sent to prison. The next morning, he was supposed to maybe appear in court or be freed on bail. They find him dead for DUI. People who are accused of treason, even while they are in their cell, they are being protected. Can't you think? Can't you think? When will black people start enjoying the fruit of their labor? Why are we having so many homeless people? While a man has over 800 trillion US dollar sitting in a bank and people are homeless. A man will claim he owns this land. And from now to the next 50 years, he's not even yet ready to build anything on the land. People are homeless. Sometimes when I think about Tupac and think about everything going on now, you don't need anybody to tell you that Tupac is alive. You don't need anyone to tell you that Tupac has to disappear. He has to go. Sit down and listen to his music. Sit down and listen to his messages. But today nobody is talking about him. There is a reason for that. Because Tupac is alive. I can bet my life on it. Tupac is alive. Tupac knows what he was doing. He was self-aware of his environment. He knows people he is going after. Okay, for example, he warned us about Donald Trump. He clearly warned us about Donald Trump. But what did we do? Nothing. When he ran for office, they vote him in. Even after we had a warning from Tupac at first. Tupac was hitting the number one. The 1%, he was hitting them where they were all scared. They decide he has to go. And Tupac was self-aware because he was paying off a lot of police officers to find out what was going on. He was paying off